Hello, my name is Brian. This is Football Manager 22, and we're back in year 4 of our save with Malia. After 3 straight years of promotion in 3 different leagues, we're now up in La Liga, so we can't get promoted anymore. We should probably just retire since we can't get promoted anymore, but eventually the goal is to make European soccer and then win European Champions League. So let's move over to our beloved club vision screen. In terms of the style of soccer, we have played 2 games this year, and we are meeting our playing style goals. This is probably carried over from last year. Pleased with our attacking soccer, very pleased with possession and high-tempo pressing soccer. I did manage to remove the club vision goal related to signing players under the age of 23 for the first team. That is a goal I would actually like to bring back in the future, but I'd like it to happen organically just because I've done it a bunch. I don't want to be forced into it. It's very difficult to find players at all, let alone players under the age of 23. Working with the payroll budget, we have done that so far. We are tasked with fighting bravely against relegation in La Liga. That means if we get relegated, as long as everything else is good, we should probably still be fine. So like my Salisbury save, where we got relegated from the EPL my first year in that. They didn't fire me. We got promoted back in the championship after one more year, and then took the rocket ship to the moon through the EPL in the second go. Maybe it won't be necessary this time. But if it is, again, we should probably be safe. Reach the third round of the Copa del Rey. That could be more important if we do, in fact, get relegated. Copa del Rey has been pretty vicious for us in terms of draws, so hopefully it's much kinder as a La Liga side. As you can notice, there's a beautiful yellow theme on everything. We are in deadline day here. We also have a match coming up, so that's why all of the highlights are in yellow as opposed to the usual blue. Let's take a look at finances, because being in La Liga really helps. The spike of revenue we got from this last year, I believe this is just all of La Liga's television revenue coming in for us, just completely dwarfs everything we've done up to now. Oh, look, when we were neutral and then when we were down $2 million, but that's nothing compared to this massive spike. We have lots of money, and it's great. Apparently spent 3.5 this month, only brought in 2.9 this month, so this month might not be profitable, but it'll be fine. And I can't remember if this is a home game coming up or not. That could push us back into the profit for the month, but again, we'll be fine. We've got enough profit from all that television revenue. For the first time, we've sold out all of our season tickets, and in our first game, I think we had a capacity of 9,980 or something. So we weren't actually a sellout, but it was close. And given the size of the city of Malia, and the fact that it isn't attached to the Spanish mainland, I get that. Maybe not. 9,000 season ticket holders. So that's going to be real solid. Somehow we are still only favored personnel. Which you'd think 3 consecutive promotions getting us up to La Liga for the first time, and I don't know how long. It's been a long time, if ever. Should at least make me a short-term icon, let alone legend. But we'll keep working at it. Eventually they'll get us pushed up there. So let us move on to the slew and sea of transfers. These are both outgoing loanees, potentially. And so it comes back here. So the big thing is we were bringing back the 3 center midfielders from last year. We're bringing back our striker from last year, as well as our right winger and 2 left wingers. So we didn't have a ton we needed to bring back in the center midfield or up top. We needed to add a little, and both of our goalkeepers are coming back. But we were bringing back 0 right backs, 2 center backs, except 1 center back is out with a knee injury through at least 2 more months and probably closer to 5. And then 1 left back. So we had significant problems in the back of our formation. So that's what we had to patch and fix. And so, it might be a bit heavy on those, but that's what the reality is we're dealing with. So our first signing was Sandro Cruz here, a 23-year-old Angolan that we got out of Portugal. I really like his stat distribution. It's a little unfortunate that he's, at 23, he's probably not going to have a ton of development left in him. He's got very good physicals and mentals. His technicals are very attack oriented. 13 crossing, 12 dribbling. He's a guy who's going to get the ball forward. It makes up for that with only 10 marking and like 11 tackling, 10 positioning. So he's very much a attacking wing back. He's got good size at 6'2", so I like that. So I think he offers us an interesting opportunity on the left side. Then we got the one signing I highlighted previously in the last video. We did sign Musa Michael, the left winger from Nigeria, out of Portugal. I realized that, sure, they didn't want to sign him or lose him, but he had, since he was still on a youth contract, we could just pay a compensation fee of like $750,000. And so we offered him $750,000, and we're like, okay, well, I guess we can just give him to you, or you could take him. And this way we didn't have to pay a percentage fee on next sale. Again, his physicals are very good, 13 pace, 16 acceleration. He has some very key mentals very highly, flair, work rate, teamwork are all great. Others not so good, like positioning, and then a bunch of mediocre ones. And then, his technicals still need work, but he's 13 passing, 13 dribbling, 15 technique. Means he can play with the ball at his feet. And, let's say the positioning a little higher, since he's more, I use the position more as an inside forward, but rather than an inverted winger. But he can definitely do that, and has 11 crossing, either footed. There's a lot to like there. He's a little small, 5'6", but and now he has a face. We did run the new Jan program to get all the new Jan's faces again, as well as just players who didn't have them. It's still not perfect. I was hoping as hope that for some reason it would change the ethnicity on Lucian Awona. It did not. He's still a white guy. He's still not a white guy in real life. So yeah, if you notice, and this will be trying, we are definitely picking off players from Portugal in particular. We have a serious reputation problem, which is not unsurprising given our situation, but that means, players coming from even remotely top clubs aren't interested in coming down to us because, let's go show it. Let's track it down first and show you. Europe, yeah, club competitions, or just Europe, yeah, sure. Clubs list. So this is all of the Spanish clubs, and as you notice, none of them are in blue over here. That would be us. So we go through all the La Liga teams, and we go through all of the Segunda Division teams, and you finally get to us down here with a 2.5-star reputation, national reputation, which, even if we get our 3rd star, won't give us that. But we're below Deportivo and Albacete, who are in the 3rd tier. They have national reputations, and we don't. So yeah, in terms of reputation, teams are like, yeah, they play in La Liga, but they're basically Albacete or Deportivo. Those are even more respected clubs. So it's going to be a little while before we can. We just need to keep winning and keep surviving, and that should get us our next half-star if we can survive into La Liga, which will just basically put us up into Segunda Division territory respect. But again, that might be enough to start really moving the needle, because there are some lower-level La Liga teams that are at 3-star at a national level. So maybe that'll be good enough, and then we, sit there for another year to maybe press into the mid-table, and maybe we can, as a regular fixture, pick up that 3.5-star as a national club, and then we can really start making moves. So back to the transfers. So that was a left back and a left wing, but he can play anywhere. Or left wing or striker. Doesn't have any experience at right wing, but he'd be fine there, being either-footed. We do have Jorginho there. And that takes us into this bulk of signings. Tunde Nurubusi, left winger that we found on a free. 15 pace and 14 acceleration is really great. He's starting to get 2-star current ability and 3.5 to 4.5 star potential ability. I thought that was worth a flyer on. He can't play for us, so we're not paying him enough. Which we'll get back to briefly before we get into the games. Sorry, this is going to take a long time. But he thought he had potential that we might be able to develop into a player that, worst case, we can sell him for profit. He's on a free. We had a 16-year-old Nigerian in who was also a left winger. I think he was even better than this guy and had better potential. Unfortunately, he got snapped up by someone else when he was on trial with us. Ali Ndom, 28-year-old, French nationality, but is of Senegalese descent. He is physically impressive, mentally solid, and has the requisite technicals that you need for a center midfield. 6'2", so he's got some size. Right now, he's probably going to be our starting defensive midfielder. Our signing of him really made Lionel Nguyen unhappy. I think he was getting forced out, and kind of, but Nguyen was not a fringe, but a squad player last year. He started on injuries, but that's it. He was a sub most of the time, so his spot was always filled by Zelalem and Gonzalez. So nothing's changed. Henry Tavares, Hernani Tavares, 2-star, 5-star potential, 4-star potential with the potential 5th star, is right back from Cape Verde. His physicals weren't amazing, but they were close. Good mentals already and decent technicals, though more defensively oriented than offensively. I didn't know his personality, unfortunately, before I got him. He's unambitious, which is pretty brutal. He's on a loan out, and at the time we were just trying to sign any right back we could because we had no right backs, and we need right backs. He didn't cost anything, so he was on a free. We're paying him $187,000. If he can develop a little, maybe we can sell him for profit. That'd be nice. Out of Southampton's academy, we got Oludare Olufunwa. 13 pace and 16 acceleration. His mental needs a little work, but 16 tackling is really nice. 13 marking. Again, he's listed as a right back / center back, 6'1", 16 jumping reach. I definitely feel he's more of a center back than a right back. The game disagrees with me. It really likes to put him at right back and seems to think that's his more natural position. Though the media description is center back, so I don't know. He did score the first goal for Melilla in La Liga history, or recent La Liga history, as he scored in our first game on a header. Good job. Levi Faustino, a 22-year-old, though that picture looks older than 22 to me. Again, physicals all very good, mentals very good, and technicals, he hits the key ones. His marking and tackling, 13 to 12. You'd like to push those higher. But it's very solid. Personality is very loyal, fairly loyal, excuse me. It's a weaker personality, frankly, but what can you do? Just 22 years old, so he's got time to maybe pick up a 4-star and develop. But he should probably be a regular starter rotation guy for me. We'll see how Chadi Riyad is when he comes back. He is only 5'11" and only has 12 jumping reach. I usually like my center backs to be at least 6 foot and have a little more jumping reach, but it'll be doable for now. And he comes from FC Porto, again, our raid of Portugal. And continuing on that theme, Portimonense, Ariel Mendy, a Senegalese left back. He's actually a hybrid left back, right back, with either preferred foot, so he's good with either foot. Very good physicals, solid mentals, and technicals all day long. All of them, 12 crossing, 11 dribbling, 11 marking, 11 tackling. He's just a very solid, well-rounded player. And again, he can play both left and right, though he leans left apparently. But we were just looking to fill that right back spot, and so he was definitely a reasonable option there. Again, I don't think we paid over $1 million for any player. So we were able to sign a bunch of players and just take a bunch of bites at the apple. We have Frédéric Ananou, 26-year-old Togolese player. Really, really good. Can play anywhere on the back line, allegedly, though he's right-footed. Really, really good physicals. 6 foot, but 16 natural fitness, 15 pace, 14 jumping reach. Very happy with that. Mentals, again, are very solid overall. Technicals, 8s in both crossing and dribbling, so maybe he can get forward a bit. And we might be playing him at right wing a little. 13 tackling, 12 marking, 11 heading. It's all solid. If we wanted to full back on support, yeah. Nothing here is... The 2 attacking elements are 8s on like full back on support, but overall I think he's a solid player. From SC Paderborn, a team in the Bundesliga 2. Trova Boni, a player from Burkina Faso, but also out of a Portuguese side, for only 87k. You can kind of see why he's... I don't know. I don't quite get the star rating, why it's down. Again, very solid physicals. Maybe it's just the underrated physical elements of these positions. He's 6'1" with a 15 jumping reach. So again, we're just kind of stocking some really tall players. Hopefully we won't get beat on many headers, regardless of where he's playing. His positioning's not great. I suppose that's not great for a defensive midfielder, which would probably be his primary position. But and his marking is a 9, which again, but he's at 13 dribbling, so he's good with the ball at his feet. He's good at tackling, but not great at marking. His passing's just okay. He's a weird player. 24, so he probably doesn't have much room to develop. But he can play all along the spine, so that's nice to have the flexibility of pushing him back to center back if you need. Though again, wouldn't be ideal with only 9 marking, but he could do it, and you could push all the way up to center midfield as well. So that had locked things up, and I still wanted to sign, you hear a lot of center back, right back, a little bit of center midfield. Nobody on the wings, nobody up top. So then the last signing was Charles Abbey, out of Saint Etienne in France, apparently League One side. And again, he is listed as French, but he is also of Togolese descent. And so he might be supplanting Iker Hernandez up top. We'll see how much we can rotate the two of them. He is left-footed, 14 pace and acceleration, a very good physical stat block, solid mentals. Leadership less important. Positioning, I believe, is almost exclusively a defensive-oriented stat. So, as a striker, not super important. Aggression, who cares? Tackling and marking and long throws are bad, but other than that, his stat block on technical skills is very solid as well. So he will be rounding out the attack. He can also technically play on any side, as whether he's a left winger, a advanced forward, or a right wing advanced forward, inside forward. He'll mostly be playing at striker, maybe subbing in at right wing to be an inside forward there sometimes. So that is the current makeup of the team. We have played 2 games so far. We are 1-1. So, hey, that feels pretty all right. We won our first game against Alaves. We actually had 2 really good center back and really good right back, players I feel that are better than any of the players we brought in, who we brought on freeze. And we tried to sign both of them, and both of them got signed away by other La Liga teams. And I get it, but it was still frustrating. Alaves was one of them. He didn't play for them in this game, so maybe that's why we beat him 1-0 again. Alafunwa knocked in a header late in the game. And then we played our arch nemesis, Real V, who just came up with us as well. They made it out of the promotion playoff, and we went to their place and lost 0-2. We have struggled with them in the past. Also, Iker Hernandez has been out. He did play in this one as a substitute, but... the attack has was much worse with Abdoulaye Sanyang playing striker. This is not how we want to be playing. So our next game here is a home game against Celta. So here we go. It wants us to change our defensive strategy. I don't want to. Baeste is injured, so Kamara will start. Kamara also started our first one. We did get a new assistant manager. He seems to like Kamara more than Baeste, which results from like last 2 years suggests that's wrong. But it also thinks that I don't quite get why he wants to play Olafunua here when we have two different better wingbacks. Now, again, he is coming off of a good average rating recently, but that's because he had a kind of flukish header. It's a question of, do we want to pull from the center back depth and replace him there, which I think we do. So we'll put Awona in and Enu out on the outside, and then Sandro Cruz versus Ariel Mendy. Let's try out Mendy for the first time, I believe. Did Mendy play last game? I can't remember. All these signings have happened kind of haphazardly. Okay, Mendy did play last game. Didn't play amazingly, but yeah. Gonzalez, Silalem, Nadam in the middle. Musa Michael, Hernandez, Jorginho up top. Hernandez, like I said, is coming back from injury, so we will probably definitely get Charles Abbey on there, though he is not in match shape either. So in that sense, they will complement each other, playing like a half. There are going to be concerns about the tactics as they are trying to figure out how they fit into these tactics. Yeesh, we've been talking for 20 minutes and just starting the game. Hopefully it's one of those games without a whole lot of highlights, so we're not here for forever. Encourage the boys. Musa Michael. I got you. I trust you. I believe in you. Don't even read those. Just hit the correct button. Now let's go kick off. We are in our blues. Celta Vigo is in their reds. And away we go. Vigo with an opening kick. Fontan up to Beltran. Denis Suarez coming in with an injury. We should probably tackle harder on him as a cruelly cynical thing to do. Mina up to Suarez. Plays it back to Mina and back to Beltran. Mendez comes back for the ball and plays it out to Moreno. Moreno leaves it forward, but Awona is going to come away with it and plays it back to Kamara. Playing a 4-2-3-1, not surprising. Blanco will reinitiate it up to Aidu. Aidu's one of those players, and they go, oh, that last name sounds like he might be a target for us. Beltran blasts it forward, but Anano does a good job with it and knocks it back to Kamara. I have my scouts. My scouts are so busy during this off season, just trying to get me players who qualified and reviews of the players I wanted to see. Suarez takes a shot, Kamara with the save, and so now I have set them to. Since we can now scout the world, Servi here's going to take a free kick, plays it short over to Galan, back to Servi. Well marked up on the counterattack, played back to Galan, who was not, and then just a give and go sequence from Servi and Galan. It's looking at Dom was trying to chase him down the whole time, but at some point he got confused on this pass back. What does he do here once the ball's passed back? Does he? Yeah, he drifts in an unfortunate way. He needs to keep between his player and the goal and not just cut the passing line like he tried to, I think. Gonzalez comes in with an interception, plays up to Hernandez. Hernandez over to Jorginho. Jorginho looking at his options and dribbles around, plays it across the field to Mendy. Mendy over to Gonzalez, back to Mendy. Mendy leaning forward to Hernandez with the tap. Nope, right into the goalkeeper, but cleared by the other team. So yeah, I have my my scouts, working all over all the African continents and all my loaded leagues. Terrible pass from Nadam. Suarez easily intercepts. Number 4, Awona does a decent job staying with his man, but felt like he could have taken the ball and just kind of booted it out the sideline, which would have been a smarter play. But I guess if he doesn't get there, then he's in bad position. So yeah, I have my scouts going over the Egyptian League, the South African League, the Nigerian League, the Tunisian League, the Moroccan League. We're so kind of mediocre that, let's give the boys an encouraging shout, that I think we can still find starters there in those leagues. Some of the 25, 28-year-old players are as good as the players we have now and will be cheap. So that would be nice. And then we also have a second set of scouts going over those same leagues looking for young players, players under 21 who have potential to be 21 or younger, looking the potential to be, at least like a starting talent. Ball's played forward for ZLM. I think he was offsides, and so the assistant referee flags. Right now, Musa Michael showing us the weak spot on a 6.4, but frick. Unfortunately, Igor Hernandez is, we were looking to kind of get him to halftime, and we don't even get to do that as he goes out with a groin injury of some sort, and Abby will come in. A bit of a disappointing half. It was functional. We had more possession. We completed better passes, but they were more incisive and creative, and I have faith, Musa. Come on. Faustino up to Gonzalez. Gonzalez finding Musa Michael. Can he run it down? He cannot. Ball played too far for him. Get the press on. They have swapped off their injured player at attacking center mid. I don't remember the guy's name right now. Suarez, I think. But they have somebody else in there right now. Ball's play forward to Jorginho. Squares the ball, looking for Musa Michael. Really would have liked Abi to be the one to kind of get there instead of having to trail to the back post. Bazil Lam will take the corner. Looking for Faustino. Can't get his head on it, and Beltran will initiate the counter there. We do have 2 back for their 1 attacker, and 2 more chasing on Beltran. Dispossessed by, I believe, Gonzalez. And their guy goes down with injury. Okay, Yokuslu, very much hurt right now, and they take him off the pitch. Oh, they just put him on the pitch. I'm still trying to figure out exactly the circumstances. Jorginho and Mendy are very tired. Let us make those substitutions. We'll put in Cruz for Mendy to keep the attack on. On the right wing, we have left-footed players there. That's awkward. Let's move Michael over there to play the wing. No. What are we doing? Gay and Sangyang are both left-footed players. So we just want to invert the formation? Yeah. We want to invert the formation, and Musa Michael will play as a winger on the left side. Again, he's either-footed and has good crossing, and we will play either Gay or Sanyang as a inverted forward on the right. I believe Gay actually has better finishing. This is 13 pace, 13 acceleration. But Sanyang has the better physical stats. How about composure? 13, 11. 11 passing, 10 passing, 14 dribbling from Sanyang, 14 dribbling from Gay. Probably better mentals from Gay overall. Let us go with Sanyang. Gay's the deep backup. And those are changes for the game. Let's give them another encouragement shout. Get everyone excited. 85th minute. Let's move to attacking. Galan will throw it into Fontan. Boysgard, Galan, Beza, Servi. Boysgard back to Fontan. Back to Aidu. Over to Moreno. Intercepted by Cruz. ZLM plays it up to Abi. Chips it looking for Sanyang, who isn't making the run we need him to make. Might have been just an ambitious pass by Abi as well. Ball drops to Faustino's feet as the counterattack's on. Ball's played up to Abi. Finds ZLM making a run through the middle. Like it from ZLM, but unfortunately just right at the keeper. Classic of the genre. In the end, I mean, we're not at the end yet. We still have 3 minutes of stoppage, but things are looking bad. we're still very bulked up there into the center and had one guy defending 3 in the ball, which is never going to work. Eventually we string out, and Boys Guard plays the ball over the top, and very attacking if we can get it. Yeah, we need to dispossess. Come on, Cruz. That's ironically like the worst thing you do, since this just means they're going to get to burn a lot of clock. Less than they would in reality. Like, they got the ball off in 10 seconds or less. Anu plays over to Gonzalez, back to Kamara. Up to Awona, over to Faustino. Kind of surrounded by defenders, which is annoying. We really need to be getting the ball north-south. Awona looks up Michael on the left side, back to Cruz, finds Abby up top. There's something to Musa Michael, making a run down the left side. Going to be the last attack of this game. Plays it across, looking for Sanyang on the back post, but a defender is there and knocks it away. All in all, not a terrible performance. We're fine. They would have liked to see our possession do something more effective, but we have a team that is I will get back to that. No, I'm not interested in that player. 4 to 5 weeks, lovely. It's not lovely. So we have a team now that has a full depth chart, maybe too deep at center back to some extent, but that'd be fine. But we have depth at every position where we didn't coming in. We quote unquote only have 3 right backs, but that's fine. Overall, I'm reasonably happy with what we got, and I think this is a team that I think we can stay up. I think we could stay up. Comparison. This will tell us a lot about how bad we are. So here's our goalkeepers as a comparison to goalkeeper stats. Then back to just goalkeeper stats, please. Let's see. We're bad at kicking and aerial reach, which isn't great. We're close on command of area, decent agility. Reflexes are okay, so is handling. We're below average, but in terms of defenders and defense skills, we are actually pretty good at jumping reach. Again, I sign tall players ish, and we have good strength, so that's good. We're also pretty pacey, so we're not going to just get beat over the top. In terms of marking, tackling, positioning, and our ability to use our heads once we get to the ball, we're not going to be effective attacking or necessarily even knocking it away where we want, but we will hopefully win most of them, even if we don't put them in dangerous spaces. Decent acceleration. All right, how about the midfield? Midfield's a problem. Again, we didn't upgrade that area much. Teamwork's solid, and so is stamina and tackling, but our passing is still poor, and so is our vision, so we're not necessarily going to create as much as we'd like out of our midfield. And how about attack from the strikers? We're looking pretty decent here. It probably just considers our 2 strikers to be strikers, so we don't have an overwhelming depth there. It's just an average of Iker Hernandez and Charles Abbey. Overall, we can maybe be looking at upgrading the midfield a little, according to this. We look to upgrade everywhere when we can, but I think we can stay up. It was a close loss to a well-established team. We're going to lose to Villarreal. If we could grab, especially this win over Asuna, and maybe a draw against Espanyol, we're going to lose to Barca. Definitely going to lose to Atletico, both of those on the road. Home against Real, again, we're going to lose that. That's a terrible stretch. Ugh. What schedule maker designed that? But then Levante at home, maybe that can right the ship. Again, we're not going to even make the mid-table, I can't imagine, but if we can just survive, that's the key, that's the goal. So I have some minor administrative stuff to do, encouraging and insulting Lionel Anjuin, who is still pouting. Sen Yang's not happy either. Sen Yang wants a new contract, and Juin thinks he's being forced out. But if he's going to be a pouty child, then yeah, he's not going to make the top 18. What can you do? So thank you so much for joining me. I have been a bit busy playing Victoria 3. I do like grand strategy games, and so that's been occupying my time. But I just recorded this on Friday 10/28, and hopefully we'll be releasing it this night. We'll see how long it takes to upload. So I don't know when my next video will be. It'll be next week sometime. Whether it's earlier in the week, later in the week, we'll see. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear from you. Please don't hesitate to contact me in any form, whether it be a YouTube comment or anywhere else you know where you can reach me. And I hope you have a very lovely day. Thank you, and goodbye.